Yeah, it's going to go too fast. Good morning guys, to everyone. Hope everyone's doing well on this fine, fairly sunny Tuesday morning. My leg is getting much better now. It is on the way to moving more freely again, which is nice. And yes, we're back with the railway today. We've still got a lot of tidying to do. Even with times of stress and moving, it's just like you're not even to have to face. But anyhow, it is what it is. So today's video, I kind of want to cover some topics that I previously didn't put in my yesterday's video, which I should have done, but I didn't. So I do want to cover these topics today, if I can, for an hour. So just after 10:15 this morning, I'll finish off today. So, you know, yeah. Wouldn't have chewing gum. They're not great when they're super soft. They're good when you can bite your teeth into and squish chewing gum together. Yuck. Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do today is we're going to cover topics with the railway stuff of what's going to happen with this railway during the progress when we're organised to move in, because obviously this will have to be picked up. The board will come with me, this one. So obviously the situation with this layout, and obviously with the Constance table, one of the tables will turn into a project layout, probably be put in somewhere, and then basically it will go into a big area. This table, this big thing is because originally had a big layout on it, but obviously because we're going downsize and it can't be staying with us. But yeah. And obviously another thing I want to go through this morning, if I got time, is covered certain topics for the railway, and covered other area topics is to do with what I'm going to do with this proper layout. Well, I'm going to cover the first part of the topic this morning after I do my outro. So, welcome back to a new model railway video. Welcome to another scene, or another video to model railway. called Brandon's Model Railways and Drill Trains YouTube channel. So there's links in the description for that if you guys want to go and check it out. So yeah, I got loads to cover areas which might be a tricky one to get through, but we'll do it. Right, so first area topic, my outro for the end of the video is different every time, but I'm trying to find the right sort of thing for it. Right, first topic I want to cover, railway stuff. Well, obviously we're going to run the trains. Obviously we're not going to rush to put this stuff away just yet, but stuff in suitcases need to go somewhere. It might turn into a project for someone. This sort of track will be suited to someone, not me, but it will suit someone else that probably wants to be in railways. And obviously I'll be giving away some of the controllers to go with it. What about the other trains that, well, for that particular ones, they are different systems, but we'll see. We'll see what we've been able to do in today's video in general. But I'm going to run the train first, and then around 25 past 10, I'll cover the next topic, which is going to be sitting down and talking about. But yeah, so obviously there will be a possibility with, obviously with my birthday, not too massively too far away now, with, by the way, I am going to be indoors for my birthday, so if you guys want to see me on my birthday, you can. Because obviously I'm going to be indoors for my birthday, see the Midland Corner again, and probably see it on the way back as well. So if there is change of train on the change of unit on the back of the train, then good time to catch it. Because I never caught Steam City put in by another train, but you'll see. It's mixed with cross country every now and again, I know that, but obviously at the moment, rails are, railways are getting more and more denser with things changing on them. No conductivity with the rails yet. There we go. Right, I'm going to put the camera down and let you guys watch the train going around for a bit. I'm going to take off the this little thing that's holding it in. We'll just do that quickly. Bear with me a second, guys. I'm going to have to put my hand in contact to loosen up the just taking the tripod off. Stand off of it, so that way you can see more. There we go. It's in 4K as well, so you can see it perfectly well. And I'll leave it like that for a little while. Right, spare part box. car box is going to be in this one over here with the blue gun and the spare parts and trains that are not really fixed, it's the entire available. Pictures and stuff will go into a separate box. The trains are separated from the units to separate from the other carriages. So that is actually in the back ones. Why do I have so much care about these HSTs more than the other ones? Well, being at Baker's is my passionate train in real life and model form, and that's why I take more care of them more than the other ones, because they're most passionate trains of mine. In the real things, you know, I don't own them, I only own the models, but yeah. I really like the service because I want them to last a long time. Being mine is going tighter, I want them to be doing it now. And then smoothly possible as well. One of the most bits is two high old skirts and a bit of hair on them. Pretty light on that. So yeah, I want to go through these buttons on the film, and I want to show you. I might show you after the last lap's done. See buttons to try and show you. Okay, we'll put you down there. And I'm going to have a quick look. I'll slow it down a little bit. Going quite quick. Other photos, I am going to at the moment, but still messy, and there's not time in that picture to see what's keeping me from. These are boxes are done for a lot of things. Yeah, the other train go back round for us to go and get. Not too far around. I'm going to stop her for a moment. I'm going to put you back on the tripod, guys, because I've got a bit of tidying to do, and I'll show you more of the trains in a little bit. We've got until about 10:15 anyway, so plenty of time, just because the battery level we've got to be careful with. Am I going to bring a camcorder with me when the first screen comes through? I don't know. I might, depending on the angle we go from. But then again, obviously. So what I'm going to do for you guys, we're going to go over to this table here. I'm going to be filming this bit, and I know the battery's the battery in the camcorder is getting low, so I will have to change it over at some point, probably in the next 20 minutes, but hopefully I won't need to do it just yet. So what are we going to do with this thing? But yeah, we got quite a lot to do. I mean, not just with the railway, but we also got a lot to do in this garage, which is going to take some time. Probably not like quality time, but I think this would take about, I don't know, about 5 days to go through. 5. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days, it will take us 5 days while we're going through this garage to get rid of everything we need to get rid of. Things that we want to keep in, like the board on one out, that is never going to go. Constance tables has to go. This little table will go with us. We'll need a good polish up, but it should be worth keeping for the time being. Being that, you know, money is getting tighter, and obviously we want a little yeah, most of this can go in rubbish, to be honest. Most of it can. I'm just preserving what's I would prefer to keep. And spare parts for yeah, that's fine. That might be useful for something. It might be useful a little path or something, I don't know. Just going to keep basically the random old bits of the sugar that I laid down, by the way, on the board to have a starting point on it. But obviously now it's got to be wait until the next step, until after we move. But wait until after that point's done. But yeah, these sort of things are stressful, but once it's done, you don't have to worry about it for a long time. Yeah, I think the rest of this, from what I can see of it, is going to be down the line, I think. I can't see any of it spare. Makeup stuff, that might be alright for like painting. But I am hoping to get one from a new one. Still hoping to get that, so hopefully, all being well, I still can get it by the end of the life. Obviously, the part of me does get the hidden porn more. HSD type, but it's tricky because obviously I like both of the ideas, having new trains and new things I need but I do have the other area of this part, being that my mum, she likes me to have something a bit different, but obviously it's my choice. So I made a decision that when I was training this year a few years ago, and I said I want to choose to have a relationship with the child because it's a different area of my life. I feel it's taking the ethic of something else. But I will cover most of that area properly in the Dole video, which is not going to be today. I might cover it in tomorrow's video, probably during the morning, so that will be in tomorrow's video, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of topics which me and my mum don't agree with because we have different opinions on things. I need to get another bag of box and whatnot to put this lot in. This is all rubbish. It's quite expensive, this is rubbish. There's a small percentage of it, like cork, what I can left over to cork for the layout. It might be working like trees and barrels later, but I'm going to build up the mound of also I basically want, when I can, start doing that sort of thing. Build up a little area, so to speak, and see if we can get those spare pieces of sleepers. Spare rails, worth keeping. The spare rails, you can leave them on the side of the track like the real lines, you can put them on the side of the tracks, you can chuck one over to one side and use them as spare parts as necessary. But obviously not everyone's the same, but for me, I'm basically just covering the table and make sure everything's good to go in that area. This is a turntable, pretty maggy bit of traction manual. Yeah, I think in that lot there, pretty much to turn away to the right part. I can't see anything that's valuable. These units are broken. I had these since 2013, so they're not brand new units. So would I get any one of these Class 170s? I don't know. I might well do, depending on the prices and what I can afford. But I might do. I do like the Class 101s and the Class 105s and 108s, but they're not my favourite DMUs. Same with the 158s and the 150s, they're not my favourite trains. The Class 43s are. And, you know, I basically always have been into the 43s. I always like travelling on them. Every time I go somewhere, I always like travelling on the castles. Being where they are, the HSTs, because in new livery schemes, it's still the same unit, because in the new livery. I don't know if they've been retuned or not, but I mean now I think they're all 50 years old to make of them. Because it was the late 1970s when they came out. They were part of the experimental train of the APT. And then there was the APTE unit, which was experimental for tilting for workers and drivers, measuring out the track and the speed of record on that one was powered by gas turbines. I can't remember what speed that one was, but it was quite fast. So I think it did about 226 or something like that. So these magazines, I'm going to be going through them when I get to the properly, because obviously I bookmarked these ones out, because these are the ones that I'm going to be keeping at the moment. And I'm going to put them in the Ming binder, in the Ming property. Every magazine I'm going to rip up, because these get released every year. So I bookmarked ones of them to keep. And I put a sticky note on the front of this magazine because, as again, RT82 is one got me in Castle Railways again, more so. I got inspiration by him when he was doing all his model area stuff. And yeah, obviously, I'm not basing my that on basically a main line so much, but I am basing it on how is the route going to work and how the system's going to work when I hybridize the layout. Doesn't matter if I'm going to be on the track budget doing it, but I'm going to be able to still maintain this layout the way I want to, with my own leisure pace, of course. But yeah, I know not everyone's like want to see all that, but I'm sure a few of you guys do, but there's other people might say, well, I'd like to see it once you start doing it, but most people won't see it. Well, that'll be the whole point of building a railway into a model pile of railway stuff, which not everyone wants to see, I get, but not everyone sees the rest of it, but that's half point of when you're building a railway. You start off being at a scratch point, and you work your way up into something smaller, something, well, not smaller, but compact, into a new area. But same trains too. You can still have double 8 scale and allow like this one, if I just turn the tripod around just quickly. So this is a smaller layout. The one on the, you can see on the far zoom, this is a constant stair, which did have an old, well, it did have a big layout on it at one point. But obviously because we has to go down sizes, means we have to come down smaller. But I kept that board for a particular reason, because at some point in one day it was going to happen anyway. So yeah, it wasn't ever going to be permanent forever, but it's temporary. So I'm going to make a jump, guys, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Be back in a second. These carriages, was it last year? It was. Right at the beginning of last year. From 2021 to 2022 I got this set. Originally when the second half of COVID? It must have done. It's before the prices went up quite madly. And Ford and it's just the Ford and it all, it became expensive. But I got 2 carriages for that price and the unit for about £340 something. Because back then I obviously did get a train for like 200 and something, and obviously with the First Great Western I only about paid £289 for the First Great Western units, but most of them are costing about between £300 to £400 depending on where you get them from. I think I'm more interested to get the Intercity at some point, maybe not now, but maybe later this year, after my birthday and everything's gone. I might get myself a new Intercity, well, a new HST, after I got the Castle and the Midland Pullman set. Then I'll get the Intercity set, or Interswallow. I'm not totally sure which one I'm going to go for yet. Either Interswallow or Intercity. Both of this angles to turn. She's slowing down. The motor is literally just cut out quite a fair bit. I don't know why, but she seems to do that quite a fair bit. Excuse me for making the noise. I just can't swing my leg around properly. In those angles that are really difficult to do with my legs. Not playing as well as I should. I've got the Pendolino as well, which I might try run, but what do you guys think? Do we run a short time with the Pendolino? It's not a full carriage set. We could try. I can try to get a new unit for the Pendolino. Just get a whole new set of Pendolino. Personally, to me, my favourite Pendolino, if I ever had one, which I do actually, I do like the old livery, the old Virgin livery on it, but It's owned by Avanti, I think now. The West Coast. I think was it the West Coast or the East Coast? I can't remember. I think it's the West. I could be wrong on that though. Some of you guys might know more than I will. I think you might know good things because you live closer to that part of the county to know between the difference between East and South Coast. Yeah, there's the East Coast, South Coast, I think there's the North Coast train. But it's a long way up. I think it's the other side of Wales, isn't it? Just going to put the HST to the side of the other unit. She does run, as I say, she does actually run, but sometimes her motor goes a bit bizarre in its behaviour, but yeah, there's what it is. How many times am I going to go to Dawes this year? Often as I can afford it, I guess. I'm going to go there on my birthday and then probably again in July. So I'm going to take as much opportunity this year probably go on as many trains as possible in the real form. Because I just don't know what finances are going to be off next year. But just the end of next year. Beginning of next year, when Lena is going to be running, it's going to see if we can get her back and running into basically full power. There we go. Yeah, the Pendolino is old. I will say that with the fact it is quite old. It runs, but it's not very smoothly about it anymore. It's got basically a cheap motor in it. When they factory fitted it with a cheap motor, and they basically cheaped out on the performance of the design of it, being that, well, the Pendolino doesn't really run that much because obviously it needs some work done to it. It's pretty old, hardly ever runs because of its condition. It also uses traction tyres, which personally I think Hornby, if they're listening, but they don't want you to listen to my videos, if Hornby upgraded those Pendolinos as well, it's another unit to work on. I think, personally, in my opinion, I'm not a big favourite on Pendolino, but in the old Virgin livery, certainly it does stand out rather well. And obviously from the power car, training car, pantograph car, and obviously this kitchen dining car which is over there. If all those worked well, then yes, I think it would be very worthwhile. But being the way forwarding something in these days is crazy enough. Right, now we're going to run one of the tender locomotives right now. I'm going to give her a little bit of lubrication around the wheel, not the wheels themselves, but basically what's holding in the connecting rods, and give them a little bit of a sprinkle of oil. We hopefully won't need to go quite that far up. I might get some new oil for the trains. I use this stuff called EW40 oil. Some people don't recommend using it, but I don't know, it's not all that bad really. I mean, yeah, it does tend to be a little bit more greasy when you use it, but especially for things for like bike and, the cyclist or whatnot. But I think on model form you can still use it, just you tell how much you use of it. And it goes the same with any oil really, it's like that special oil used for models. I think EW40 can do a job decently, but it's just use less amount than you would on a, like, there's model type oil, which is known for actual like aircraft stuff. But just give it a little while, haven't given it much, sprinkled around when the connection rods are. Put on the rails. Bear in mind that she won't run as much because obviously she paid me 20 quid off eBay last year, so she's not a big runner, but she won't run. But she has a problem with her units on the area, just the way she cannot run as smoothly as the way I would like it. I'm going to get her going. It's 10:15, you know. It has been later than I expected. Okay, so just a little run around. Keep it going. Okay. I wasn't even planning to film this morning, but I thought, you know, why not? I haven't got much else going on this week. I'm tidying. There we go. As I say, she's not the most smooth of the runners, but she's doing pretty well for her age. One of the oldest one I got in the collection, I think. What makes her run the most? Probably just the amount of oil I've given top her and she actually likes it. Does she run round well on this line? Well, once she gets past the gap in the track, then yeah, she does try her best to get on top of the rails. Here she comes, see if we can get one lap out of her. Keeps stalling around on that line. She's got alloy metal wheels as well, she's not like the modern ones, but pretty old wheels. There she goes. And he stopped in the middle across the right where her hands off and 23. There we go. I'll just get one good shot of her for you. If she comes round again, one more lap for her and see if she can get it all the way round. We'll get a stop close to the HSP. There she goes. Running rather smoothly too. Once she gets going, she's got a bit of oil in her, she does go rather well. Maybe she's been overfed with oil before, I don't know. What she likes. It's an old motor in it, but wow, that's pretty impressive. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it wasn't massively going on. I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's going to be a different video altogether. So, tomorrow is between the two at the moment, between having a chat about companion doll stuff and obviously me having a normal chat. I didn't do a normal chat stuff with you, but I did cover a little bit of topics which I forgot to do last week. Well, yesterday wasn't it? Yeah, I was supposed to cover topics yesterday which I never did because I forgot. So I covered some of them this morning, which is good. But yeah, there's too much still to cover, which is going to have to be another video, which will have to be done next week. Possibly potentially moving next week, but hopefully not, because we're nowhere near ready. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And you can check out all my other videos which I have posted on my other content. And I'll see you all guys in tomorrow's video. Like the chat video, and obviously a companion dog video. I don't know, might do one of each. When anyone wants to watch chat video, they can. If they don't, then that's fine as well. They can just give themselves a retrain one, just see that's what they're going to work. And just got update videos. I'll do a new update video on doing the update video, which at the moment I'm not feeling the need to do one, but would hope I would actually do an update, say like June, do my next update. There we go. So, have a great day, and I'll catch you all guys tomorrow. Peace out. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I had to make a jump because the battery was on red on the other battery, so I changed it over. Right, you can see the conference table. This is how big it was. I cut down the size simply because the space in the new property is going to be smaller. Obviously I kept the old board since I was 18, and I decided to do it up, and basically sits all my trains on it. With the HSTs, the other HSTs obviously with all the freight wagons and the mixed variety of stock curve and fast side, and you've got steam engines, diesels, shunters, AC electric, and then the HST units on the far side. But basically this layout is my dream layout now for the future, because, you know, I'm not made of money. I never will be. So obviously my layout will be on the budget. Not going to ever build it on a wall, because yeah, that would take too much doing and too much time and money for it. But I'm just going to get a stand for that thing, and maybe re-strengthen it if I've got time and money for that. As for this set, this is the really old stuff, which I'm back like early 40s I expect this stuff. But yeah, this stuff is predated from the 40s probably, late 40s, early 50s. So yeah, pretty outdated stuff. But people do collect them, so, and my old train board which I used to go to, which I'm not going to go to anymore, because too much money, too much ton of money, which I don't have enough money for it. And, you know, I can rather put that money into things like travel on the ground more, you know, in the train group. But I'm just going to move this thing out of the way. This box. One unit that still has the power car. Let's have a look at the unit. There's the old stuff. I do have two suitcases. This is only one of the two suitcases I own. The other one is underneath a small little table, which I'm going to bring out in a moment, because obviously it's still got the other tractor in that one. So I've got two lots of track. I'll bring this one out in a moment. Just have a look at the way the clips are. And yeah, I can tell where the clips are based on. And these suitcases do last a while. Well, the clips certainly do. These are rusted. This is welded shut. Are they been welded shut? I think what might have to do is going to be put right in this up. This is going to have to be, I think this thing is supposed to be pulled back and it opened. I remember opening it a few years ago. But this thing does not want to open. I might have to open it really poorly. There we go. The only way we can open this damn thing if we can get open the box. Is this thing welded closed? Because it is, that's the problem why we can't get open to it. Yeah, this suitcase is old. Not as high efficient as the other one, but had you open one box like this. I don't know why I opened it like that, because that's the back of the box. Don't know. The suitcase is busted anyway. But yeah, this is the other box. It's full of crack and pieces. So obviously we got all that. So yeah, there's all this stuff as well. And this is a mix of ones that really been put together as part of the track system, and obviously other controllers will go in here. I'm not ever use this track, and I'm not planning to, so I'll probably give it to charity, basically. And it's nice to have this track in somewhere because it gives it a clips, like when you're running the trains. Click it in, it goes from the point, goes into its siding, and it couples up to the next part of the line. So if anyone wants this track, I'm happy to give it to you for whatever you're paying very little for it, because it needs a clean up, it needs a bit of TLC work done to it. I mean, I'm happy to desand the stuff, but obviously when it comes to the rails, there's also what I will put in with it is some controllers as well, because obviously I'm not keeping all my controllers. So give me the whole box full of corners. So I'm going to put the corners in with them. That way you don't have to carry any extra luggage. The screws. I will give you the. I've got a few other bits that can go in there for free because obviously I'm getting rid of stuff anyway. I can give you a few extra bits, but obviously I'm not going to give anything to any of you guys until I get everything it's necessary. It's going to be going in that lot. So, lovely little piece there. Obviously there's spare parts. Tender from an old train set, which actually came from one of the American HO locomotives, which I had a few years ago. Any trains that I'm hoping to keep. Prior to moving. Well, as I say, the ones that are running, definitely I'm going to be keeping. The ones that are going to be projects, I'm going to be working on once I move. And see if we can get some of those units working. To see if they all can be worth a bit of money if I can get them running. Some I might keep for myself. Others might not keep at all, depending on the space and the money I have available. But mostly I'm not going to be keeping any of the spare parts. I'm basically going to keep what's necessary to keep and what not is necessary to keep, basically. That's all I'm going to be doing. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot to sort out. I mean, I've got 3 screws there and 2 of the other here. Some from the First Great Western one, which I'm going to have to put screws back in for, because it's never actually ever got screws back in. It's I do have a big fun of the HSDs. That's why I like going on so much, because I know in a few years they're all going to start disappearing off the roads altogether. So if you guys want to go and travel on the railway as long as you want, with the HSDs still on them. I highly recommend watching for that, because obviously the railway, the real railway, is going to go out of, I think, the HSD at some point. But the other ones are starting to take shape of the old symbols. One of the intercity ones is writing out British Rail. They're now working on British Rail stuff, which is pretty awesome. But obviously how long for? My question. I have no clue how long it's going to last. But I was assuming, just guessing, probably until basically the government starts to lose interest on it. But at the moment they're working on just trying to get everything back to the way they should have been from the 60s, but or probably the early 80s when they start ripping everything up. But yeah, it's not what's the right word? Very efficient to ripping up all the railway. Then 20 years later or 50 years later they realise that the ripping up all the tracks, when everyone has to use public transport compared to the cars, because cars are getting too expensive to run. They recently realised that the fact of having railways actually gives them more money than relying on petrol or diesel to run on roads. Which is, it is a true fact. It does make a big difference on finances as well, with people paying more for their money for keeping railways going than paying a fortune for paying petrol and diesel. But cars, vans, and lorries, and some other flights. I'm just trying to find a screwdriver of some kind so I can actually I don't like touching this side up here because it's really messy. I do not like touching it at all. Wish I've got a flathead screwdriver I can start putting in, but I haven't got anything like that. I think wood and mallet, which track pieces need to be cleaned off. Yeah, so there's more track than anyone would seem to realise, but yeah, I got some screws put back in that one, but that shouldn't take too long. As for other spare parts like screwdrivers and things like that, well, I don't really matter too much in the sense of get everything out of the way, clear, and if you come across a screwdriver or flathead, then brilliant, then I can just do a little bit of carving into it. So I'm going to keep the spare parts for the railway. Well, probably like little hooks. I've got a big roll of wire of the roll for the roof stuff. Did I finish that all? I think I did. So obviously that stuff is going to go. The spare parts are basically all going to this stuff over here, which is all the accessories. I'll put my train units in here because I'm hoping, I don't know, these will necessarily be kept. Check it all over and make sure it's fine. Two holes there. So there's that. That's possibly that, so let's do that. Put the trees in there. Yeah, the HST is perfectly fine. I've been running them a lot, so obviously some of them might be right, we'll just run the trench now. I'll just have showed you what needs to be done. Let's put them back on the rails. These are the ones that are not an issue anyway. These juniors there. Bring that forward. Yeah, model form, they do have LEDs as well. The ones I own have LEDs. I think the model form, in real form, they actually don't have LEDs. Because I think what I know of the real thing is they are still running the older Western housing bulbs since the 2 hours. Apart from the outer one, the real outer one takes into an LED, but the really small LED type, completely yellow, so it's quite the same. How many HSTs do I own in running condition? Well, technically I have 3, but that one is so loose and hasn't been fixed on. This one did get fixed, the perfect Western one. But yeah, sadly the castle, which I got in November last year, didn't get fixed, which is quite annoying, but hopefully with the material screws. Taking the screws out, I'm sure they are actually probably tied in because sometimes they get a bit of string wire that we know about. Just making sure everything is tied up as quickly and nicely as possible. Yeah. Screws are, these are important things about the train. They are important to these trains. They're very valuable. So we're keeping the trains moving as smoothly as possible, because they're what holds them those magic down in the center. So I don't run the perfect Western one in yet, because obviously this one's been running around for a little while. Let's go to the railway again. I'll bring you off the tripod again. I haven't checked the time, but I expect it's around 20 past. Probably about 10, 15 seconds. Probably about 10 o'clock. Probably 10 o'clock and 10 past 10. Probably around 20 times. Just check the time now. So a little bit earlier than I expected. I'm going to try to practice it and see if I can get that around it really, but we'll see how I got in the progress. I'm going to try to catch for you in the next minute. I'll try. And we've got this thing running. To see the view of the train. Yeah, I don't know if I can crouch properly at the moment, which sucks, but I'm going to keep on stretching my legs and hope I can get them properly able to crouch, because right now I can't crouch. I keep trying, but it's not going to let me. At the moment, anyway. Right, we get a close-up check to the little bottom. I do love the groove back of the railway. But the French girl is always popular too. And go from this angle, far in. She's a Eurotrain, but all the H2s are. Just don't like the buffers on them. That's something I do not like. I do not like the buffers. Never have, never will. They're not designed for them. I mean, the HSC are designed for the aerodynamics, speed, comfort, and your touch journey times much shorter because of the compared to the power of the what do you call it? The diesel hydraulic system, which is basically diesel and electric, but it can separate the two units for two engines and either end is the same. Obviously with HP, I don't think they've gone quite the same design, because I think, don't get me wrong, but I think what they did with it back in the 1970s when they're designing this unit, in the mid-70s, when they originally planned it, they had a centrally mounted engine, diesel engine in there, about 2,500 horsepower at both ends, with two ends of the unit either side of the engine. The diesel engine puts out 2,500 meters of torque, kicking out those are the top speed 148, 150 maybe, back in the late 70s. With the two electric generators close to the cab, to walk down this really narrow switch path between the two units, and then basically has to squish going up beside the motors and the generators to pick up that electricity, which is clever, but it's also pretty outdated now. But I think they should have put next tuned up in that unit. That way they've got more hybrid engine in them, less diesel engines, so they put about 2,000 horsepower in both units, bigger generators, electric generators, pushing it into the generators to move the wheels, and then diesel engines basically just gets it warmed up, goes ready to go, but that's all it does. And it only uses diesel engine going uphill instead of going down. So, and also they have a battery underneath, and the fuel tanks where they are going in the middle things. They can put another fuse probably on the back too of the units, and we have another rail, both sides of the rail to protect those rails from, you know, a little, electric unit in the centre, going up, picking up the electric from the rails. And then if another third rail is not on, those units on those bits there, they can have the diesel engine on it, means that they have the option of both. I mean, it's kind of what they've done with Javelin. They've kind of gone with diesel engine and the electric continuing, which on the HSC isn't one, but I mean it's necessary. It saves money and it saves fuel in that. It saves building new things every year or once every when they need them to replace. They can just upgrade the units that they've got, bring them up with new systems, and they can build them up so they will fuel new areas with more training. Just have a particular carriage continuing on, and the two ends still look the same. But you can also have it in its old form. There's no detail particularly on the roof. I think most of the cars have got no detail on. The cars have got more detail on than then the GNR one has. But on the other hand, the first cars on the GNR set, you know, but I'm going to stop here in a minute because obviously it's time to have a little sleep. Well, I'm going to get the First Great Western one out and put a frame. I'm going to try to cover this corner as well. I'll try and push in a little bit further. And I'm going to push it in a little bit further this side. And we'll just hold it back for a moment. When she comes on again, I will stop her. I'll do it this way because even though it's not the most safest way to stop a HST, it's just easier for me at the moment because I can just put the other one on as soon as I've got all the carriages lined up and the training car. Yeah, I've got these carriages. Hey, Shane, we've got traction tyres on. Who knew?